My name is Dr. Vicki Haspels, and this is the weekly forecast for week commencing 1st of September 2025. Apologies for missing last week's forecast. My voice wasn't up to it, and neither was I. So each week I like to bring through messages from the world of spirit using my deck, the Mythic Tarot, and providing guidance through the reading of this week, and hopefully giving us answers and some sort of direction for the week ahead. So let's begin. So the first card we're looking at is the Influence card. This card threads its way through the reading. It influences each of the cards as they come out. And this card generally gives us an overall feel about how we are going to navigate this week. So the card we have this week, Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups represents a sense of surrender. So it's not a fabulous, oh yay, let's do things this week. There is a sense of, it's like the inevitable. And so it's like we've tried everything that we can think of to move forward, to resolve something, to fix something. And we've just come to that realization, you know what? This is it. So we lay to rest any ideals or expectations that we may have had that we've been really trying hard to make happen or manifest, and we accept things as they are. The funny thing with the Eight of Cups energy is that when we do surrender, and I'm talking about surrender with all of your heart and say, you know what, if this is it, then I'm going to be okay with it. Generally, what's been blocking us dissolves, disappears, disperses, and what's meant to come, that the thing that we know is coming, turns up, but turns up even better. So we can't know what's beyond the Eight of Cups. The only thing that's in the way is our expectation and our way of thinking. So we must get to that point sometimes in order for that new wave to turn up. So this is the thread this week, the influence this week of the cards. So the next card we're looking at is the conscious self. What we know about ourselves consciously. What do we understand about how we are heading into this week? Here we have the Two of Swords. There's no way that we are going to be listening to authority that we have been listening to for a long time. It's like breaking away from something that we know no longer serves us. This authority has directed us. It has given us rules. It's gate-kept us. And we, at the bottom of our hearts, knew that this advice was perhaps not correct, but we followed it anyway because we believed the authority that it came from. And it's not that that was wrong. It's just that we are now ready to mature to the next level where we can listen and trust our own selves. But we must first of all break away, and in order to do that, it's about moving or blocking out, as you can see, blocking out that influence and that noise from those external influences. So expect that people that we looked up to, that we revered, that we thought were knew what they were talking about, we'll start to see them as it's not a bad thing. It's just that we'll see them for what they are, as in regular people just like us. It means that we have evolved to a point where we can stand on our own 2 feet. Consider it that transition from teenager to adult. We're ready to move away from our parents and start listening to our own voice, for good or for bad. And so that's where we are at this week. And we can feel this because we want to push away some toxic voices or some toxic influences around us. So the next card we're looking at is the unconscious self. So this is a guidance that's around us. It is the soul, the voice of the soul, our guides, our angels. It's that universal energy that swirls about us, that directs us and shows us a way that aligns with our higher self. And so it sort of nudges us into different directions to help us see a clearer way. Whether we listen or not, that's up to us. But we'll know these are the signs that we're looking for when we're looking to move around or to get out of our own way. So the card we're looking at is Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups means that we'll get shown other ways or other directions that speak to our heart. So if we've been doing things a particular way and we've been following the rules, and those rules we just realize they don't suit us anymore, our guidance is going to show us that those rules are no longer relevant to us by saying, have you thought about doing this? And something's going to catch your eye. Something's going to capture your heart. Something's going to go, oh my goodness, I didn't know that. And we won't be able to see that unless we step away from that perceived authority or that even sometimes, as I said, look at just very, very faintly, it's like a toxic influence, just very faintly. So in order to be able to, and don't forget, we've got the Eight of Cups influencing all of this. So we must be prepared to give up a particular dream that we've been working so hard towards, and something that we know has come to an end, surrendering to understanding that that's no longer the way. When we do that, our guidance is going to show us some new ways. It's not the way, but it gives us some sort of direction that there is something else out there, that we're not sort of stuck here and cannot navigate out of our path. So the next card we're looking at is the block or the fear. This is the thing that we struggle with this is what we're climbing out of in order to be able to see clearly ahead. And this is something that we have been working on within ourselves and ready to release and let go. So by accepting this fear and leaning into it rather than pushing it back down or running away from it, it clears the way forward for us, because that's the little voice in the back of our head that says, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't. So the influence, that the fear influence or the block, is the Nine of Cups. Now that ties in nicely with the idea that we expected something else to happen because we felt it that way. We thought it was going to be this. One of two things can happen in that. The Nine of Cups is the wish card, the manifesting card. That's what's blocking us. Sometimes we get a sense or a feeling that something's coming up, and our mind or our mind self or our creativity will create a scenario and think, it feels like this. And so we work really hard towards that. Now, if we get too focused that it has to be this and work towards that and miss sometimes little detours, we will get hyper fixated on that and we get stuck, because that's not always the goal, but it is the thing that gets us and launches us. So it's about letting go of what we thought it should be. It's okay, because the manifesting card is still there. In other words, the feeling that we had that launched us on this path in the first place, the energy is still there. By stepping back and allowing the Eight of Cups to come in and do the surrender, we can then access that manifesting card again with a fresh outlook, a fresh mind. And that's because we are stepping away from the old rules, and we are acknowledging what else is out there. So action. What is our action here? That could be action, inaction, or no action. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is simply life moves forward. So we will know when it is time to step. I take that back. Life is just going to start moving forward, whether we like it or not. So we can get stubborn and think and dig our heels in and say, I'm going to still do this because blah, 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 when everything is telling us that that's not going to work, we can dig our heels in, but life's going to move on. And if you want to move with it, the Wheel of Fortune is here. The Wheel of Fortune is going to move forward whether you like it or not. If you are not willing to adjust, surrender, go with that flow, and understand that you're stepping away from something that you expected, but you can, if you're honest, you know that it's actually not a reality. You can get stuck in a little bit of a funk. That's what's going to happen. That's what the Eight of Cups is letting us know. So, be brave. Be okay with the fact that, oh, maybe I got that wrong, because really, did you? Or did it get you here so that you can then move into the next bit and the next bit? Trust. Because I'm going to go pull this one out again, because the Nine of Cups is still around, right? The manifesting card, the wish card, the gift card. Okay, what is the outcome of this week? If we follow everything and like work with the energy of the week, what can we expect to happen? So just remember, this may not happen at the end of the week. It might happen in several months' time, but we're starting that ball rolling. The World. Lovely. In other words, this cycle is coming to an end. The idea that we had, that motivated us and got us here, that cycle is now coming to an end, and that's why we're getting to see pretty new things so that we can step into the next cycle. I can't stress enough. If you're hitting your head up against a brick wall, that's your sign. You can't go any further. It's okay to sit still with it for a minute, and it's okay to say, you know what? You didn't make a mistake. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's okay to say, I don't know what to do next, but I am ready to follow the flow. The Wheel of Fortune is there. Life is going to move us on. It's okay. We don't have to do anything anymore. We go with it. Life is going to take us in that direction naturally. So, what is the karmic lesson here? What is the higher purpose of all of this? What are we learning about ourselves? Five of Cups. Interesting. The Five of Cups represents separation, grief, again, letting go, letting something go. Our higher purpose, it's about releasing some past grief that we have been carrying for a while. For example, if you have had a dream to create a particular something for yourself, a life for yourself, a business for yourself, and you've had this dream and you've had the plan and you've just started, or you might be in the middle of it, and you can start to see things moving, and then all of a sudden, block, detour, and you're doing all the things that you think that you should be doing to get to that point that you know is possible, because that's what your heart is telling you. Well, what's actually happening is that your higher self is saying to you, let that go. Your higher self is saying, you know what, it's got you here, but there's something else now. This is the only way that your higher self could get you to this point, by nurturing that dream, nourishing your motivation, all of those things. And now it's time to move to the next step. That means that you've done all the hard work to get to the real deal. Are you ready for that? And that involves the grief or letting go. The grief, the Five of Cups it's not necessarily, to me, it's not linked to a particular action or a particular idea. It's more of like a grief that we've been carrying with us for a length of time, And this process is the vehicle for that grief to be released. So it does not need to be named. It does not need to be understood. It's just with the disappointment and the surrender of the Eight of Cups allows the grief to move through us. It could be a past life grief. It could be a this life, 20 years ago grief. If you can allow this process to happen, you'll be healing more than just this one thing and moving on to a new project or the next step of your life. You'll be releasing something deeper, something that has been holding you back probably for lifetimes. So, on that note, I'm going to leave that with you. This has been the weekly forecast for week commencing September 1st, 2025. My name is Dr. Vicki Haspels and I'm the Tarot Coach. Thank you for joining me this week. Much love from me. I'll see you next week. Mwah. Bye for now.